mynews.studio.
A broken back, a summit on Everest, and survival lessons that influence resilience worldwide. What keeps Bear Grylls moving forward, and what can we take away from his experiences?
Today is June 17th, 2025. Bear Grylls wasn't always a well-known survival expert. It started with a parachuting accident in Africa, where, serving with the British Special Forces, he broke his back in 3 places. He was only 21, and doctors warned he might never walk again. How does someone find the strength to come back from that?
That's really at the core of what Bear Grylls has been tackling ever since. His recovery took months, filled with tough and uncertain days. Instead of giving up, he set himself a new target: to climb Mount Everest. Why Everest? He's explained it was about testing whether mental toughness could beat physical setbacks, for himself as much as anyone else.
And he actually reached the summit. In May 1998, at just 23, Grylls stood on top of Everest. That meant 90 days in what's called the death zone, where the air is so thin that just surviving is difficult. Was the climb simply about Everest, or was it a stand-in for his recovery itself?
It was really both. The climb was both a physical and symbolic peak for him. After that, he went on to tackle more challenges, circumnavigating the UK on jet skis, climbing isolated peaks in Antarctica, even setting a world record for the longest indoor freefall. These weren't just stunts. Each one helped raise funds for charity and push the boundaries of what's possible with limited resources.
So what practical ideas did he come back with? Grylls often talks about adaptability, staying calm, making the most of what's around you, and solving problems creatively. Are those skills just for extreme situations, or do they fit into daily life as well?
He insists they're universal. On Man vs. Wild, which reached over 1 billion viewers, he demonstrates how to improvise in nature. But he always tied it back to everyday challenges. For instance, in a business context, he might ask, "What's your shelter? What's your fire?" In other words, what are your priorities and how do you keep moving ahead?
His influence goes beyond television. He's written bestsellers, over 20 million copies, translated into more than 40 languages. Plus, as chief ambassador of World Scouting, he takes his message even further. How does that role amplify what he stands for?
It's a huge platform. Under his guidance, the World Organization of the Scout Movement started programs centered on resilience, leadership, and practical skills for young people. It's not just about adventure, it's about building communities. For example, Scouts have led disaster relief and environmental projects, all grounded in Grylls' principles.
There's a very clear focus on empowering people. In times that feel unstable, why do you think Grylls' message connects so strongly right now?
Because he shows that adversity isn't just something to survive, it can actually spark growth. He teaches that resilience, adaptability, and courage are skills anyone can develop, not just inherited traits.
So, just to sum up, Bear Grylls overcame a broken back, climbed Everest, became a global TV figure, and now helps inspire the next generation through scouting. His story is less about adventure alone and more about turning setbacks into opportunities for change.
If you're curious how his time surviving in the wild has influenced his beliefs, how he uses those lessons in daily life, or how his work with Scouts is having real impact, those are topics we'll keep digging into.
Thanks for joining us. From near-fatal injuries to global influence, Bear Grylls demonstrates that resilience is something anyone can build.
Thank you for tuning in. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.